Hello and welcome to Two and Door Gaming, and here we are with our 30-day fortress, how to survive 7 days to die. And if you haven't already, please watch my episode 0 just to show you what we're working towards with this video series. And I'll be giving you tips and tricks and things and how to get through 7 days to die and do it well. The first thing we need is we're going to have to create a new save. So Nice House was my example world, but we'll change it up. Let's call it TG record. No, we don't want a pre-gen, we want something new. What was that? That's right, let's go advanced generation. This is probably a good way to do it. If you notice, when you do a random world, it can take a long time, so it's good to let's go TG record. Okay, well, my recording software just freaked out when it started generating that world. I guess it does take a bit of processing power, but East Rowboat County, the seeds there, this is what you end up with. I don't investigate the map, I don't need the spoilers, I just need it done. Now I can actually enter the world and get playing. So as you can see, totally defaults. I'll just change it to not listed. That's the only non-default. Everything else is the same as you would get underway. So I'm going to hit the ground running. If you played the game, then you know, not a minute to spare. You want to get somewhere safe by that first night. Doesn't have to be anything remotely like a permanent base, but at least somewhere you can survive. A few things done without being bothered. At default, as I said in episode 0, the zombies are probably simpler, easier to beat than I would like. I tend to play at a higher difficulty, but even so, on day 1, before you've got any sort of equipment or whatever, yeah. Okay, that's a nice glitch. Not had that happen before. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is get myself some threads. What I'm working towards right from the start is getting to a trader, because my strategy relies on the traders for providing key items. I like to set up my base very close, so I'm not just spending too much time running backwards and forwards from the shop. So these branches are great for getting early wood, so you're not punching a tree, which is always a little ridiculous. So just grab a bunch of that. At the same time, I'm looking for those little wood sprigs, but also some loose rocks. So there's a nice and easy find on the road. Handy if I can pick up some food. That is a very good score. Okay, we need a few more rocks, and we're also looking, of course, for birds' nests so we can get our arrows. Just one of the early quests. You have stamina. What's always fun is when you come from a game where you've played for, you know, quite a few horde nights and you're a high level, and you're used to having just so much more stamina and health and everything else, and then all of a sudden you're sort of brought back to earth with virtually nothing. Okay, where's a rock or two? Okay, later on as well, I tend to destroy the garbage piles just so I'm not checking the same ones again and again. We'll get, unless I go too far from spawn, won't have to worry about zombies spawning. Okay, that'll do. We can get underway. Learning the keyboard shortcuts is really helpful too, just to get you through much more swiftly. Okay. Place it, pick it up. stone axe. Let's clear my hotbar. This, yeah, it's the same every time, so you can scrap it or do whatever you want. And we're good to go. Now, I am actually going to create more than just the basics. This is why I was punching so much. Oop, I just made 2 hats. This saves me worrying about it later. Where? The last 2. Okay, done. Wooden club. Now I don't like using the wooden club. I prefer to use the stone spear, just because it's got a better reach on it. Which means I take less damage. But I'm going to need some more stones. Okay. Still looking for the easy ones. If I have to, I can punch this gravel stuff, get a bit of sand as well. Here we go. Now we're talking. You might also like to just grab a couple of cotton plants. Convert those into cloth. And you can make a bandana just for a little extra protection. So this is where you can really slow down if you have trouble finding feathers. Sometimes that can be the hardest thing. Now I've got my graphics set pretty much at the highest possible. I recently got a new computer with a lot better stats. So I can do that and it runs quite well. This is the first time I'm really testing it out with recording software, but I've had no glitches at all so far and didn't for my episode 0 video, so we'll find the limitations of that, I guess, because often that's the problem I run into, is I can run a game well, but as soon as I get to the point where I need to record at the same time, it gets a bit crunchy. That'll do for now. With this sort of tools, I'm really just building up a little sort of little bit of resources just so I can get some things done, but I don't want to be wasting too much time until I got better items. And I'm still looking for bird's nest. I think I just heard my first zombie making noises. So I like to destroy what I loot because yeah, little rabbit. Because the amount of times I've run up to something to sort of loot it and it's been already done. It's too annoying. Here we go, finally. Now, one thing with the bird's nest, destroy them. Sometimes you'll get more feathers out of the actual nest than you did just looting it. So you get bonus ones and a bit of plant fibers. That's not really what we're after. Okay. 5 whole arrows. But I can make my stone spear now. The stone spear uses a bit of stamina to use, but I find it's worth it for the distance you get out of it. Now, of course, inventory management is a big thing early on. I don't want that there. I have my standard setup that I like, that I'm used to. Oh, I'll put that on. It can slow you down a bit, but again, I find it's worth it. There's a lot of trade-offs. Hey, when I do that. Okay. We want to scrap it, not wield it. I'll scrap that. You can eat raw eggs at a pinch if you need to as well. That's the thing. And early on, I like to have this down here so I know exactly what my resources are. I'll scrap that too. Okay, wood frame block. So I'm just shift clicking the items into the hotbar or out of it, just to save time. Now we just need the campfire. Done. Alright. Now at this point, trade at 2 kilometers. That's pretty bad. I've not started in a good spot. 2 kilometers is a long way to run with no stamina. And here's my first zombie to deal with. See, I like the reach of a stone spear. Once you get used to how far away you need to be, you can evade their swinging arms. Okay, now what I was about to say. 2Ks is too far, but we'll deal with it as we do. I've got some points. Here's where you start your choices. This is one of the biggest factors of the game, is trying to work out where you want to put your points. I always put some sexual Tyrannosaurus so that I can wield my tools and weapons quicker. Like Lucky Looter as well, because I'm getting a lot of my resources from that. And then I probably tend to go for -69 so I can get better stone axe. And then depending on how I feel, I may put a point into better barter, but generally I'll go for rule 1 cardio, especially on this save where I've got to run 2 kilometers, just so it takes me a lot less time to get where I need to go. Straight away I want to bet that better axe. If I scrap that one, it'll put it automatically in there. I'm not going to bother collecting any metal right now. Not with a stone axe. It's rather largely pointless. Oh great, it's going to put hills in my way too, just to make it even slower. But I can pick up some XP on the way. Here's Yule. They've all got names, but they're all pretty boring names, like, you know, cheerleader, diseased mother, this sort of thing. So you tend to make your own nicknames for them. Whenever I see a ball guy like that, I always think you're Brenner. I don't know why. I mean, it's not even like he was contemporary when I was a kid, but there you go. I guess nobody's been as bald successfully since. Maybe Vin Diesel? Maybe I should call him Vin. Okay, again, I'm not going to waste a lot of time because the key to the first day is getting to the shop, and then finding a safe place near it. So I'm also not going to delay too much for zombies. Much as I like the XP, I can never, even later when I've got an auger and I can like get hundreds of stone in a minute, I still find it hard to walk past a stone on the ground. It's just embedded in my brain. What I might do is just fast forward this to, there's just going to be a lot of running, till I get to the shop town. Okay, we're drawing close now. I won't run past a stump because, of course, if you didn't know already, stumps can give you the honey, which is very helpful as a natural antibiotic. Getting infections is one of the worst things that can happen in a zombie fight. So having honey on hand saves you worrying about it. And it's so simple to get, and a much higher chance of finding herbal antibiotics or just regular antibiotics. So yeah, I won't run past a stump. So yes, that's quite a journey. It's 12:30. I've lost a good portion of the day just getting here. I'm much better when it's closer, but it is what it is. It just means I might have to make shortcuts when it comes to where I stay for the night. We'll see how it pans out. Hopefully the town seed is a good one and has what I need where I need it. Always a good idea to get them while they're down. And make sure they are dead before you run off. Be better times I thought that was the death noise and it wasn't, and they get back up and hit me one. Of course, the definite way to check is, did you get XP for it? Look down your bottom right hand corner. If there's no XP, then they're not dead. Simple as that. Okay. Let's get to the shops and find out sort of what base we're working from. Okay, good resources there. Ooh. I also never get past a mailbox because they can have skill books in them. And now's a good time to maybe just grab a couple of things to sell. See, I hear that noise and I think they're done, but they're not. That's why you check. Nope. Now, early on, if you find like some really good setup, like a place that has a lot of loot, good loot, say like a cracker book or shotgun messiahs, don't loot them, because you're going to get a low quality of loot until you can build up your skills.
Any louder? You trying to wake the dead?
That's funny. Okay, so let's offload things I don't need. I want all of that. There's not a lot I'm going to have here. No. Okay. So I'll have a quick scan. I always start with the secret stash. Let's have a look at sort of things I've got. Mini bike. Oh, obviously I don't have 12,000. It'll be a little while before I do, so that's a bit annoying. Because he's going to restock in 3 days. I doubt I'll have enough by then, and he'll probably never offer it again. But that's life. Oh, crucible. Lockpicks are good, but okay. Just a quick scan. One item you really want are the lucky goggles, because they will help you.
Good luck with that.
Heaps. Now, before I ask him for a quest, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to loot the place. You can loot anything you can reach. What I tend to do is I will just loot, take all. I'm not going to be fussy at this point, especially not when I've got virtually nothing. Just loot, take all, and then if it says I'm full, I'll do a scan and see what I've got and clear it out if necessary. Otherwise, couldn't have given me a better one, could you? Unfortunately, that's my looting level coming out there. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing up in the towers, and I don't want to waste too much time on this one. Okay. Yeah. You'll learn each of the shops, what and where they have stuff. This one, don't ignore the well. Okay. Yeah, nothing too exciting to this point. Okay, chemistry station's actually usable. That's good to know. Not a particularly helpful location, mind you, but you can use those, and even overnight your stuff won't disappear. Okay, now that is that's that trapdoor that was behind the salesman, store trader, whatever he wants to call himself. But it's locked, so I can't get through. So now I've just looted his place. I can go back in.
Well, another survivor.
Sell him anything
Hope you
useful.
got money.
He won't buy that. He will buy that. I might hold on to that, because it's handy if you get cut. No, that's too helpful to me. You buy sand? Yeah, it's not worth it. Better off if I have it. Did I get anything else worth giving? No. Okay, so I got a little bit of money. This is good if like you need a bit of food. I was lucky to find
Those
some.
damn things are selling like hotcakes.
Now, jobs. Don't ignore the jobs. Trust me. Do not. They're a great source of money and experience. And the buried supplies is, in my opinion, the best one. I never take a job, especially in the early days when I've got low stamina. I always close it because it's be rude not to, not because it's really necessary. Anyway, far jobs just take too much of your time getting to and from. So I always try and get something under 400 meters away, unless I've got a vehicle. And then obviously it stretches out a bit. Now at this point, like I said, I'm not scared of the zombies. What does scare me in the early levels are the dogs and wolves. They will kill you so quickly, it's ridiculous. Zombies on the other hand, as long as you don't get blindsided and slowed, you tend to not have an issue. Now, I always like to see if I can get one quest done the first day. Ooh, I got a skill book. Sweet. Skill books this time. Sort of, again, it's a trade-off. Do you want the money for it? Or do you want the XP? Or, like, is it something really useful? Let me get over here first, then I'll have a look at what I found. Treasure hunting used to be a lot harder in earlier versions. This is 19.5. You see up in the top right corner. They have made it so much easier. You used to have a massive area and you dig and dig and dig. Okay, let's clear some of this junk. Wait for the zombie to come over. Happy cheerleader. Now I'm going to get rid of her because she'll eventually track onto me. Alright, let her get too close. I don't want to be stuck halfway in a hole when she actually does. Okay, so the book I got. Great Heist. Learn how to craft time charges. I'm probably just going to use it for the XP. Basically because I'm going to need some space for... I should fix that while I got a chance. I'm going to need the space for what I find in the dig. So let's put a couple of things down in my hotbar as well, just to clear, make room as well. Okay, oh, I need to make a shovel actually. Let's put the arrows back. This is also why I like to do minor 6 to 9 because of the digging missions. Now, the great thing about this is you control when you're in danger. Basically, I'll show you what I mean by that when we get to that point. Oh, somebody else has tracked me. Where are they? Yeah, you control when you're in danger. Plus, for making the fortress, it requires a lot of cobblestone, which you get from mixing clay with stones. So you're going to need a lot of clay. And clay, there's no piles of clay. Like there are big boulders you can get stones from. There's big piles of sand in construction sites or sand pits in the playgrounds or what have you. But there's no piles of clay. It's just digging dirt. Now, unless you want to be digging for the sake of digging and making holes somewhere, this is a great way. You're accumulating clay. You can get 6,000 of it in one stack, so it only takes up one space in your inventory unless you get a mass of it. And then you can use it later, but while you're digging, you're actually digging for a different, like for another purpose, which is to get at the treasure. And the buried supplies also has the advantage, tier 1, the buried supplies are always going to include food and or drinks, which can cripple you if you're having to waste time trying to find those in the early days. So just having them handed to you while you're getting XP and money and clay and experience, it's just, yeah, that's why I just find it's all round great early quest to do buried supplies. Now, every 10 pieces of dirt I remove inside the circle, it'll shorten the circle, but at no stage do I want to find myself in a hole. There, I found it. I didn't even need multiple times to shrink it. Now, don't open the chest until you're ready. This is the key. Make sure you got your weapon, and I am going to repair that because I don't want it breaking at a key moment. Make sure that you can get out of the hole, right? And make sure that you've got space in your inventory. When all that's done, open it up. Don't close it until you're ready. Now I've got 6 items. I've got space in here without making myself encumbered. Good. But if I learn this, I can sell it for 80 or I can learn it. Now I've only got 5 items to worry about. Also, if I'm hungry at this point, I can just use one. Again. So you could do all of this while it's open. You're totally safe, except if you haven't cleared the zombies that are hanging around normally. Now, as soon as I take all with my magic R button, zombies will spawn. But I'm ready for them. See, I was in control then of when the zombies were coming. When you're doing a fetch or a clear quest, you're not in control. It's the zombies that are sort of in the POI you got to deal with. All I had to do was run out of the hole, run to a space where I could see them all coming. I didn't even have to fight these guys. I can just run off. And they'll lose interest like every other zombie. They won't chase you forever. All the quest does is as soon as you loot the container, it will generate. And how many and how difficult just depends on the tier of the quest. Being tier 1, they're obviously not as many, 3 or 4 generally. And all basic. Yeah. Take note of houses like this, the semi-constructed ones, because that blue pile is cobblestone. So that saves me collecting. Breaking these is worth more than a boulder because they're already condensed. You know, a boulder it's got 3 stages of breakdown, and in the early days that gets you about 75 stones. One pile of these will get you about 50. A lot quicker and simpler. So at this point where stones are a premium, because I'm going to need them for arrows, my tools, and cobblestone. That's why I've actually bothered to stop and collect them now. I won't worry about the sand or the cement, though obviously later I will definitely want those as well. So now as I take back the completed quest, I'm on the lookout for where to stay for the evening, because it's 18, so 6 PM. Nighttime zombies start at 22, so 10 PM, so basically got 4 hours. Now of course I can't destroy this because it's in the zone. Zombies won't pathfind you, like you can
you want to buy or trade?
aggro them.
Incredible. I didn't think you'd pull it off. Here's your bounty.
I can get painkillers if I want. They'll sell for 32, or Skullcat mod for 35. So that's pretty lame, but you can improve those odds. I'll take the painkillers and I won't sell them. So I got 2,500 XP, which is, what, about 10 zombies? So, and 560. And as you can tell, that's a very good reward. I'm going to sell off the blackstrap. Keep everything else for this moment. So there we go, I'm up to 724 straight up on the first day. Anything useful? No tools. No.
Are we done here?
Yeah, we're done. And it's even better if he's got like a iron spear or iron shovel or something like that. It can be so useful. Alright. So for tonight, I wonder, I've never used this building as a base before, this building type. I think I might this time. Alright. I should make a bunch of more, do I? Normally I'm making those while I'm doing other things, but I'm too busy talking. Okay, sneak damage is your friend. Now I'm not going to loot right now because what I want to do most of all is clear it. Sneaking is good, so when you need to jump, because one, it doesn't aggro as easily. Two, you get sneak damage. Now I just heard a growl, which is a warning that there is a sleeping zombie nearby. Ah, there's a foot. Now hitting a foot is just as good as hitting an arm or a head. See my sneak bonus damage? 3.5 times. That's how useful that was. Yeah, sneak bonus damage with a bow and arrow is awesome. Sneak bonus damage with a melee, not so good. I always try and do that with those. Because yes, zombies like to hide in the cupboards. And you can break the door remotely and get your sneak damage. Watch for blind corners. Okay, try and remember the layout so that locked door was from the other side, so I don't have to worry about what's there. Okay, I'm hearing another sleepy sound. Whoa, staying on the desk, okay. That's a new one. So I wasn't able to sneak damage. Now, it used to be that the sneak damage meter showed if a zombie had tracked you. Now it's just a pure, this is how much noise you're making. So you can't tell. Used to be a really good sort of like early radar device. Now that's locked. Normally in every building, every room is accessible without breaking something. It's not 100% true, but it is pretty solid. Now that's not a full panel. See there, we can see some light. So what is... Ah, fake panel. There we go. So this will wrap around and I'll be able to get into that room with a minimum of fuss. So if there's a locked door, then normally there's an alternate route. Nice. Ah, we got underground. Of course we have underground. I'm going to check the weapons bag. Zah. Useless, useless. Sell that later. And be careful because ladders will take you out of sneak. Alright. It took me a while to get used to the more recent versions in that not every body on the ground is actually a zombie. Some are just corpses. And for a long time I would be constantly shooting at corpses, but you learn to recognize the difference. Oh, that looks fun. I'll take that arrow back, thank you very much. Okay, I'm hearing more sleepy noises. Oop. Okay, now it should be cleared. That should mean I can loot it safely. But of course, looting does make noise, so you still got to be a little careful. Okay, I'm back to the living room. Okay, cool. Now for the evening, if you're just using a temporary spot, you can put down your sleeping bag, and it will actually give you a spawn-free area. Sometimes it shows up. Or if you're thinking, yeah, I can make this a permanent base, you can actually put down your land claim block, which does the same thing. Now, it doesn't automatically go down, so I'm going to try putting it... Ugh, it's not going to let me. See, I have no idea why it does this, but sometimes you just cannot put your land claim block somewhere. I assume it's because there's like a hostile already in the area, but I'm not sure if that's even it. Okay, let's go outside and I'll actually see the bounty. Is it because I'm too close to Trader Joel? Maybe that's it. So getting red, 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 white. Okay. I might not be able to use this house. How far back do I have to go? Looks like about the first spot, which means it would cut the house into what it looks. Yeah, okay, I'm not interested in doing that. So I might just use a clear space, make my own. Oh, this one? This one might work. But I haven't cleared it out yet, that's the problem. And it's almost night time, so... With my plan, it's got to fit the building and the walls. And these traps. I'm not sure if that's small enough. I might just use my own space like I normally do. And I'll just hold on to that for now. Spend the night in here. Okay, so 21:29, it's just about night time. I can do a little more looting.
Just to let you folks know that Trader Joel's is closing soon.
Or the Lucky Looter one. I'll just leave that. I might go downstairs, that had the best loot. Pretty much every POI is going to have one of these little caches. You just got to find it. It's normally at the deepest point, or the highest point, or, you know, basically the further you have to get into a place. Sorry, I thought I heard something breaking wood in the background. And I guess not. Yeah, the further you have to travel to get to it. Like, so yeah, the most inaccessible place in a POI will tend to have one of these caches. Whoa, that's a nice...
Trader Joel's is now closed.
Okay. Like I said, you don't want to really loot too much of the best places because, like I said, the tools and the like are going to be not as good as they will be later. Like, woohoo, stone shovel. A basic light bulb. That's a new one. But yeah. Okay, I've gotten the spooky, it's nighttime music. So now I've got to be careful about creating too much noise, because I could draw in an early attention that I do not want. I'm hearing something faintly. Maybe it's my imagination. Okay, so, yay, cornmeal, which I can't use yet. Potato seeds, not really useful to me right now. That will be helpful, but I'll pay for it. Obviously, it's going to decrease my mobility and make a little more noise just walking around. So, yeah, that's that give and take. I could be moving more freely, but more prone to damage. And at this point, I'm so squishy that I will take the movement penalty over the damage potential. It's a good time to check. I should eat some food. I won't use the first yet. Okay. Now, a lot of, you know, what creates noise and what doesn't, and what's a dangerous level of noise is sort of guesswork. Maybe that somebody's worked it out for us, but definitely hearing zombies out there. But as far as I can tell, you sort of, it builds up and then it wanes, builds up, wanes, like so. If you spread it out a little bit, you're less likely, but that I could be totally wrong, to tell you the truth. That just seems logical to me. Yeah. I should stop looting things. This is getting heartbreaking how lame everything is. Okay, I'll probably end the episode there. Nothing's going to happen at night. Unless I'm really dumb. So, yeah. If something happens, I'll include it. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. Okay, I did bring you back. I'm currently listening to a bear fighting a zombie. Which is nice, the bear's taking out the zombie for me, but there's a bear. Now, if anything can kill you even later on, quite easily, it's a bear. You do not want to take one on with anything less than a powerful firearm, so that is a little concerning. Sounds like Bear 2, Zombies 0.